Yeah. Yeah, 1 week seasons, man. That's it. Got to take it 1-0, one game at a time. Thought we did some good things today. I did some bad things today. You know, some stuff to clean up, some things to learn from. But we'll grow from it. It's all that matters is surviving and advancing. It doesn't matter how we win; it's if we win. And proud of our guys for playing the way they did.
What were they doing to you defensively, Josh? It seemed like the offense fell out of rhythm for good portions of that game.
Yeah, I mean they were playing press man. They were spying me. They were doubling Steph. I thought their front did a pretty good job. Maybe blocking up some of the running lanes. But again, our guys found a way to win. Our defense stepped up. I'm so proud of our offensive line and our running backs on that last drive. It's not easy to run when they know you're running it in those situations. So for Motor to go put his head down, follow the big boys up front, go win a game like that. I don't know if we've done that this year, so that was really, really good to see.
You took a lot of deep shots. Was that based on just on their coverage, what they were doing, and you thought you had the opportunities there?
Yeah, we definitely had some opportunities. Wanted to take advantage of that. If they wanted to play, no safety high, they played a lot of zero today, which we kind of expected. I thought we had some good answers, some really good plays, and again, some not so great ones that we got to clean up, and that's on my shoulders.
You guys hit a little bit of a lull kind of in the second quarter, early third. When did you feel like you guys snapped out of it, or was there a moment that you can kind of go back to and say, like, okay, that's when we got back to being ourselves?
I mean, at halftime, just talking to ourselves, settling down, just trying to reset and refocus. The turnovers, they hurt us, really let them back in the game. Up 17-0 with chances, and I give them the ball, 2 times and give them a touchdown. So it's just things you can't do, and you can't expect to win like that. So some stuff to clean up.
Can you speak on that 3rd down and 10 catch from Khalil Shakir? He hasn't seen a lot of action this year, but boy, he came up in a big moment there.
Yeah, that was a big momentum shift for us. I know he's a rookie, but we got a lot of faith in him, a lot of trust in him to make some plays for us, and he's going to continue to do so.
Josh, speaking of that faith and that trust, what was it like to have John Brown, Beasley, Gabe, Steph, all those guys out there all at one time?
Yeah, I mean, it felt very comfortable. You saw it. It was Cole's first playoff touchdown, I think, in his career. That's what Kevin Turns just said. So that was pretty fun to get the ball back to him. Obviously, bouncing around, bringing them back, and just being able to run some of our old stuff. And he remembers it and was able to run it and execute it. So it's good to have vets like that.
How much did the interception by here? How much did that sway things for you?
I mean, it's huge, and turnover margin, especially in the playoffs, is so big. That really helps us out. It bails us out. I can't thank our defense enough for playing the way that they did, and I didn't put them in some great situations today, and I know that, and they know that, and I got to be better for them.
Well, the playoffs can be grueling under any circumstance, especially if you want to make a long run. Given what you guys have gone through the past couple of weeks, that adds an additional element of emotion and it's draining, right? How do you guys kind of find the strength to keep going and what you hope is a long postseason?
Yeah, I mean, we set goals at the beginning of the year. We've got one goal in mind, and that's to win a world championship. And to do that, you gotta win the playoffs. So we're looking forward to our next matchup. I don't know who it's going to be against, but I know it's here. We're going to need Bills Mafia in the building, being loud and disruptive. I thought they did a good job tonight and forcing a couple false starts and delayed games. That's such a huge momentum shift for us. When it's 4th and 1, you cause a delay of game, and now it's 4th and 6, and it changes the complexity of that call. So shout out to our fans.
How big was the after you got back in the lead after the Elam interception? How big was that next drive when you made that 10-point game? Because it seemed like that was finally where you regained grasp of the game.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's the playoffs. Everybody here is good. Every team that we play, it's going to be their biggest game, our biggest game of the season. So nothing to hold back. And again, I thought they played pretty good tonight, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They did some things that caused us some problems. So hats off to them. But again, proud of how our guys played. Yeah, again, we understand the seriousness of the playoffs. It's win or go home. And again, guys just wanting to win and not hang up the cleats, just yet. We, like I said, we got some goals to accomplish, and guys in that locker room love each other. They work extremely hard. to go out there and execute and try to accomplish those goals that we set.
Josh, you mentioned some of the conversations at halftime to reset the first drive, the second half, the turnover there. What were the conversations like right after that on the sideline?
Yeah, I mean, you can't focus on that. The play happened. You got to move on. I think having the leadership, in that offense, whether it be Steph or Mitch or Dion or Roger, just coming up to me and just, hey, forget it. Like, we got to go. And just understanding, like, you can't let your last play dictate your next play. So, again, got to be better in those situations, but we were able to find a way.
What'd you think of Skylar Thompson's play today?
I thought he played pretty well. Our defense is pretty dang good. He gave him a shot to win a game, and that's all that matters.
I know you would prefer it to be a lot less stressful at the end, but is there something to be said about winning a close game, especially in the playoffs? Is that a skill that a team can have?
I guess so. At the end of the day, that's all that matters is winning the football game. It's by 1, it's by 100, and again, these are 1-week seasons from here on out. Everything you got, it's like I said, win or go home.
That's the most involved we've seen Dave in a while. That's the game was over early, went too late, didn't play. What was it about seeing him as often as you did as an answer to that?
Yeah, he works his tail off. In practice, he works extremely hard. He's been so reliable for us, and again, just giving him some opportunities to make some plays, and he came up with some big ones tonight.
You mentioned Khalil and Khair. Also, you mentioned the production from the running game. To get such contributions from rookies in such a big game when necessarily you're not at your best, how big of a boost is that for the team and just an overall confidence boost for those players?
Yeah, at this point in the season, they're not rookies anymore. They've seen enough action. They understand the gist of what's going on. And again, I credit our leadership, whether it's in the DB room, our receiver room, our running back room, for getting some of those guys ready to play today and helping us win a football game.
Do you ever see Mitch that needed? You ever see Mitch that needed?
No, I don't. You don't really see that, but I love him. I really do.
Did you get a chance to spend some time with Demar when he was at the facility?
Yeah, I got to say hello to him and his family, and obviously a big old hug, and there's a big line of guys ready to love up on him. So it was, blessing come true to see him back in the facility. Thank you guys. Go Bills.
Schematically, I wasn't in the right position, to be honest. And I knew I messed up, but I can only try and make the best out of the situation. And I think my instincts kind of kicked in to get back where I needed to be. And I just, I seen him quickly throw the ball, and I just put my hands up and grabbed it.
Maybe after the way that first half ended, with them catching up and all that, it felt like the defense kind of grabbed this game by the throat in the third quarter, really, and that kind of stopped what was happening and gave your offense a chance. Did you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it starts during the week, man, and we make sure that we play as one heartbeat. And when things go wrong, we go as best, as we say in the defensive room, that our team is led by our defense. And any team that has a strong defense, gives himself a chance to win the ball game. So we just told each other, hey, we got to get as many takeaways as possible, and we did a good job.
To go back to the spot for that interception, what do your coaches say to you on the sideline after that? Then obviously you're making a big play, or your teammates even.
Man, just say, hey, like, you see ball and you get ball, and but I'm living right. Got to be living right. Just for me to be schematically not in the right position, but for me to kind of have a panic mode and get back and make a play. Hey, like, if you're not in the right position, you better make a play. You better make it, and I made it.
Trey, it feels like you've taken Khair kind of under his wing, or under your wing since he's gotten here, and there were multiple big plays from him today. What did you see in his game, and how big of a step is it forward for him?
I mean, Khair's just, he's such a student of the game. Just the way that he attacked the week, coming in on
on off days catching balls. So him catching that pick is something that he's been waiting on. But he's a student, man. He really wants it. His desire to be the best that he could be is next to none. The way he prepared, the way he come in and take care of his body as a rookie, man. The success that he had today is not a surprise. Just the way he prepared himself throughout the week and in weeks prior to be in this moment and be ready. So I'm definitely proud of him.
Trey, what was?
You were in the photo with Demar yesterday at the facility that Matt Milano posted. Looks like you guys were kind of embracing a little bit. Could you just describe that moment and what it was like and just to share that with him?
Yeah, for him to be in the building, man, it brought smiles and happy tears to everybody in the building. Just to see him walking around healthy, recovering well. We sat next to him all around the facility and just kind of asked him, a couple questions on how he was feeling and all that kind of stuff. And just all we needed was to see his face and see him walking around. Once we knew he was healthy, we kind of had a weight lifted off our shoulders. But then actually seeing him in person, it was amazing, man. Every guy on the team just, was so happy to see him.
Trey, did you recall that experience? You said previously that you're really affected by the injury. And just being able to see him, was that like a breath of fresh air for you?
Oh, for sure. I got my hug, though. I know that. But it was good to see him, see his mom, see his dad, just overfilled with joy, man. Just to see him. We was doing the walkthrough, and he was just sitting down in the end zone by himself with his parents. And before we went out to do the walkthrough, everybody went over and just talked to him for a minute. And it was like Dean said, it was refreshing, man. Just to see him, just to see the smile, and just to touch him. Just to see what we experienced the last 2 weeks, man. So it was great to see him. It gave us a lot of juice too. So. That was a great sight to see.
Trey, how do you describe the team's energy after getting to see Demar yesterday?
Like I said, I think I know it lifts our spirits for sure. It gave us a lot of juice. We were even juiced up for the walkthrough. That's something that we never juiced up for. But to see him and just to see him walk and just to see him smile, man, it was a great day for us.
The playoffs can be a long stretch, even under normal circumstances. Given what you guys have been through the last 2 weeks, and both of you could answer this, how do you kind of find that strength to keep pushing forward, even kind of, this extra emotional?
I think when everything starts up top, and Terry to Brandon to Sean, they're great leaders, and I think they get us mentally, physically prepared to go through trials and tribulations, throughout life, and football has a lot to do with life and the lessons you learn and all that things, but it's just we were able to just come together. I mean, no one is ever in this together, no matter what, a team, a company. It's just when things are tough, you got to lean on people. You got to. No person is human, and I'm superhuman. Sorry, and we all need people. So, just the great leadership from up top and the leaders on our team. It's a domino effect, and we all trust in one another, and we believe in one another.
What about you, Trey?
Just to piggyback off what he said, we got great leaders at the top, great support system around the building. We've been through a lot, as a team this year, just from 2 storms to Dawson Knox losing his brother, to the top shooting, to Josh Allen hurting his elbow, to losing Von Miller, losing Micah. So it just shows you the resiliency we have as a group. But it takes the whole building to not just the players, the support staff. Our people that cook us food in the cafeteria, they're so great. They lift us up in the morning too with their energy. So it's not only the players, but it's the support system that we have around the building that just make this thing roll. Because it's just not us. We need a lot of support. From talking to people to just leaning on each other. Our strength staff is great. Our nutrition staff is great. Our training staff is great. So it's just like it's not just the players. It's the whole building. And we're one big family. So we go through everything together, and we lift each other up and through good times and bad times. So.
Very on the back end today, just not that you're not super competitive every week, but there just seems to be an extra dose of scrappiness on your guys' part on track, and not just in clean pass breakups, but breakouts, forcing completions. We just maybe talk about the collective.
Yeah, our coach, Coach Butler. If you ever see him on game day, so scrappy. Well, during practice and everything. So it just like Dean said, it starts at the top, man. Our coach is so fiery and he's so competitive. So he breathes that into us. So we know going to the game, Waddle and Hill, those guys are the best in the league. You know, so we gotta match their intensity, and we knew that we're gonna have to go up there and face them and make it tough for them, knowing that we're not gonna completely shut them out. Just make it extremely tough on them. Just land on them. Just try to make it as tough as we can for them. And fortunate enough, we were able to get our hands on some footballs today and knock them out.
Last week, either Sunday or Monday, Sean said that he thought the last game was your best game this season. Yeah, and now have some big plays today to build on top of that. Just how are you feeling about where you're at and what you did today?
I mean, we winning, so it makes it much better. But like I said, weeks previous, man, this is a long journey for me. Still getting back, still rehabbing it, still doing everything I can to stay on top of the rehab process and getting ready for games and practicing my craft. So it's something that I'm gonna have to attack. This is my new normal now. So hopefully I can continue to do what I'm doing, and the training staff has been great. There was guys helping me out and continue to rehab my knee to make sure I'm ready for practice, make sure I'm ready for the game. So this is a pretty much a two-year thing, and I went into it knowing that, but I wanted to attack it with me coming back in 1 year and being who I am. So it's a fun process at the back end, but I mean, I've been doing the best I could, and I've been having help along the way. So those guys have been making it real great for me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Did you mark your plays? Yes, they're the plays before the match. That's fine. Matt. Yes. So we know which lockers.
Did you give her the card back? What's up? Did you download it?
It's still loading.
It's still-
Afternoon. Good evening, rather.
Mitch, can you remember a time that you've been so fired up on the football field when you had that interaction protecting Josh?
No. But I don't. It's not making anything bigger than it was. You know, we talked afterwards. Actually, I have a lot of respect for the way he plays. He was a competitive guy. You know, tempers flare in this game. You know, we had our moment, and then it was mitigated, and we were able to continue playing. And yeah, but no, I've never been.
When you see your quarterback, for lack of a better phrase, in trouble like that, what's the thought process of an offensive lineman?
I mean, in the moment, you kind of lose consciousness for a little bit. I mean, that's your guy, it's your quarterback, right? And that's you just want to be there for him, and you know, it escalated like you saw, but I'm not going to make it too big of a thing. Like I said, we chatted afterwards, and it was more than amicable. You know, it was just, I have admiration for the way he plays, and you know, the competitive nature he plays at. So.
How can offense stay positive
All right.
when things weren't going your way there in the middle part of the game?
Yeah, he cut you right off. That's right.
He had to get his question in. I appreciate it.
Hey, what's your question, bro?
How did you guys stay positive in the middle part of the game when the offense wasn't doing as well as it was?
We just tapped into our pro ability just to focus on what we can and control what we can. You know, in a playoff game, like, we expect it to be an up and down battle. We expect it to be, you know, elite on elite. So, you know, it's not supposed to be perfect. Like, games and like that should honestly be every playoff game. It should be as hard as it's supposed to be, uncomfortable, and an up and down battle. But, you know, like, for us, like, we just have to just focus on ourselves and clean up a bunch of like little things that could turn into big things. But the good thing is that we understand what's ahead of us, and we understand what we did wrong and what we did right. So we're going to take it, craft it, and make it better.
Yeah, and I know it's hard to win in this league, especially in the playoffs. Do you think the feeling is excitement, relief, a little bit of both? I mean, that was right to the end. I mean,
Yeah.
What do you sense the team's feeling right now?
I mean, honestly, man, it's a playoff win, you know, and like, not to make it bigger than anything, but it's a playoff win, and it's hard to win in the regular season, and it's extremely hard to win in the postseason. So we're taking it as a beautiful playoff win. We're leaving the locker room today in this press conference with a W and not an L.
We haven't seen a 100-yard day from Gabe Davis since week 5. Is that just playoff game we saw today?
Shoot, it's a everybody play their best ball, you know, and Gabe is a gamer, you know, and he's a player, and he's a baller. So, you know, hopefully many more to come.
Mitch, with some ups and downs today with the offense, just overall, how would you describe how the offense was operating all day?
I mean, I think we shot ourselves in the foot a few times, put our defense in less than advantageous positions, put their offense, you know, on our side of the ball. You know, I think there was moments where we were able to really matriculate down the field, move the ball, you know, and then there was moments where we just shot ourselves in the foot. I think the biggest thing, like Dion said, is this next week. Yes, we did end up with a win, and in this league that's hard, especially in playoffs, but we know we need to mitigate those mistakes as much as possible. I thought this team did a very good job of not pointing fingers. When you know, when the stakes are at its highest, it's easy to do that, and the emotions are so high. But that just shows the resiliency of this team, and you know, the defense really helped us out a bunch, put some field goals up instead of some touchdowns when they were in the red zone. So kudos to them. But for us, it'll just be kind of being real with ourselves individually, but also as a group and a unit, and see what we can do to play a better football game next week as the competition just increases.
Do you feel any type of difference with this team in how you're all able to band together when things aren't going your way?
Well, I think a lot of guys, you know, we've got guys who played a lot of football. We've got guys who've played quite a few playoff games now, understanding that when the stakes are at its highest, that, you know, the emotions can be almost overwhelming at times. And I think guys, it's a great checks and balances. Certain guys like Dion can come to me and see where I'm at. Hopefully I can do the same thing to him. And that's just kind of a microcosm of what's going on all around the sideline. So, you know, guys have each other's back. Guys played a lot of football. But we also understand that since we played some football, that really can't probably be doing what we did again today and expect to continue in the playoffs.
You know, you guys waiting, so I want to get this one in. How do you feel like the third game?
You're funny. I mean, shoot, bro. We actually knew exactly like what was coming, and we took that lemon drop or that Shirley Temple and chucked it out the window and said, man, we don't want no pieces. Go home.
Thank you.
Well, 29 yards, catch and run was a big play. It looked like you faked a whip route. Were you trying to fake that and then go, or what did you do there?
Yeah, it's called a juke route in our offense, and you know my whole career I've ran a lot of escape routes or whip routes and a lot of drag, so I try to marry them up and just gave him a little stop and go.
Cole, your first postseason touchdown, how did that feel?
Yeah, it's you know it's about time. It only took me 11 years, so I'm just happy it could come in today's game and I could just contribute.
Hey, what is it like now in the playoffs again? To start off where you left off in the playoffs, making plays the way you did today?
You know, it feels great. You know how important these games are. It's a one and done, you know, around this time. So just be able to contribute and help my team win. I mean, especially in these big moments, you know, it's awesome.
Could you talk us through the touchdown, the last touchdown? Was it look like cover two? Were they?
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like cover two. I knew I was going to be one-on-one with the safety. Just had to beat him to the back corner.
And then you had to get the feet down there, or was that?
Yeah, it was kind of a tightrope. Yeah, I didn't get on 21's toes all the way. I kind of just cut it a little early and just, you know, trusted in Josh to put the ball right where it needed to be.
You had the one catch where you had to kind of literally slide your arm under the ball there in the middle of the field. Were you, I know there were a lot of lobbyists on your behalf to challenge the play, but were you thinking, I got to slide my arm on the, are you thinking in that instant you got to do that?
Yeah, the guys get on me all the time the way I frame the ball sometimes, and that's a big. I mean, I'm comfortable using that type of way to catch the ball. So I knew I was going to be able, as long as I can get to it, I knew I'd be able to get my hand underneath and secure the catch.
Cole, Josh said that the Dolphins made it pretty clear, thinking about the second quarter, that Steph wasn't going to beat them. Having been in the room once before and now back again, can you just speak to the other guys stepping up when clear? They said, all right, go ahead. You guys are going to have to beat us with Cole and Gabe, and you guys did.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. You know, we got to be there for him and you know just give Josh easy throws. You know, they're going to try to take Steph away. I mean, he's a big time player, and you know he's our number one guy. And you know, if you're going to give him one-on-one coverage, he's going to eat you alive. So when it's our chance to take advantage, you know, we got to do so.
Obviously, I don't know what your perspective is running downfield, but they were going to bring house and whatever the consequences were. You give up some big plays, you give up some big plays. You know, just kind of, what did you think of how tough was that, or was the challenge of trying to make them pay?
Yeah, you know, we knew that was kind of one of the things that they like to do, and I feel like they did it a lot more early than they did later. In the second half, they kind of switched it up a little bit, and then they got back to it towards the end. But you know, that's something that we should be able to take advantage of, and I think we did for the most part today.
Cole, just coming back here and being able to make some big contributions today in a playoff game, what has that been like for you emotionally?
Man, it's been a ride for sure. It's been a tough year for me, just you know being at home and watching, and then you know coming back, and I kind of got to play a little bit the 3 games in the season, but it wasn't as much as maybe I'd like. So I still feel like I'm kind of getting in the groove, but really I'm just trying to enjoy it. Perspective changes a lot, you know, when you're in that situation. So I'm just happy to be here with guys like Gabe, and I mean he was calling me the whole time I wasn't here, but you know I missed him so much. It's not the same, you know. So it's just good to be back here with the guys, and I'm just you know trying to enjoy every moment.
What does it mean to have him back?
It means everything. I mean, I was blessed my rookie year to not only be around Cole, but Smoke, Diggs, Dre, you know, Isaiah, those guys early on. I had great players in front of me to learn from. And, you know, and Cole was always on my side from day one. treated me just like everybody else and always showed love to me and always expressed how good of a football player he thought I was and gave me the confidence to go out there and play. So, you know, I know he's my boy for life, and I love him.
There were, you know, you're in control of this game, seems like, 17-0, and moving the ball consistently, and then there was like, 6 drives in a row where one thing and another, you don't get points. Kind of what was the feeling on the huddle or on the sidelines about getting over the hump?
Yeah, that's just playoff football, for the most part, and all the games that I've played in the playoffs. I mean, I don't even know if we've had a blowout. So, the thing is, you got to keep the foot on the gas. You can't ever get complacent. You got to keep playing consistent, and we were a little inconsistent tonight, and we can't do that going forward.
I was unable to bring it in. I had to restart my laptop.
All right, good to get a win. Battle, give credit to the Dolphins. They battled, they took the ball away. They're a tough football team. Give credit to their coaching staff and their first year. They've done a really good job. Like I said, good to get a win. Our guys hung in there. A lot we can take out of this game and learn from as we head into next week. So with that, I'll turn over to your questions.
Hey, Sean, 17-0, then you had a run on offense. What did Miami change up, or was it self-inflicted?
I just think overall we got to do a better job of at that point, up 17. I think it was 17 zip, and we turned the ball over. So at the end of the day, you turn the ball over, you die normally a pretty quick death. And when you turn the ball over, I think we had three turnovers, one for a score, and then we had the big punt return in there, mixed in there as well. So not very good complementary football.
Generally speaking, when you go up 17-0 as early as you guys did, is it difficult to keep the guys up mentally, ready, sharp, or how do you handle that from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, I mean I understand what you're saying, and that I'm very aware of that. And you watch, the game last night. I didn't stay up to watch it all, but the way that game was trending, and then the result, right? The end result. So I give our guys credit, man. They hung in there and they figured out a way to get a win, and that's what I think one of the things they've been really good at this year. And but we definitely have a lot to take out of this game and learn from.
Joe, you used a couple of timeouts late defensively in the second half. Were you just in defenses that you didn't like at the time? Or?
Yeah, just with what they had out on the field and what we were in, I wanted us to talk about it a little bit there. We had the guy running wide open there a little bit, and one of them that got thrown down the field, I think it was, and ended up being incomplete. So wasn't ideal. We got to do a better job there.
John, that Steph was hurting early, and then they kind of made a commitment to shutting him off.
Yeah.
Can you speak to the job the rest of your receiving corps did to kind of pick up that slack?
Yeah, I praise them for. And Cole came back. A lot of them came back after some early plays, I would say, Chris, that didn't go their way and hit the reset button, whether it was Cole, Shakir, they all contributed down the stretch, which is what we needed. And that's hard to do in terms of the reset button. But our guys are mentally tough. They've shown that. And when the game doesn't start the way you want it to in terms of an individual player in the first quarter, hey, how do you get yourself back? And they did that.
John, the moment from Kyer off the pass.
Yeah.
Vital, I'm sure.
I thought he did some really good things in the game. The interception, executing the technique, and then the play on the fourth down, the same fourth down that was referenced earlier. We came back and I think he knocked the pass down over there on their sideline. So I thought he did some really good things, and then he tackled in the run game also.
You mentioned Shakir, that catch on that 3rd and 10. How critical of a catch was that? And for someone who hasn't seen extensive time this season to come up with such a big play in a critical time,
are you talking about his catch?
Shakir's catch on the 3rd and 10 over the middle where he finishes the drive.
Oh, yeah. That was a big catch, and we got a lot of trust in him. He's got good hands. He's a good football player. He's off to a good start, and I think he wanted that one, from early in the game back. I think that first one was before half, maybe there. We could have put some points on the board more than we did. So, again, the game ebbs and flows, and our guys, time after time, have shown their mental toughness and the ability to reset.
You mentioned Kyer and Khalil, and also James, just the contributions overall from the rookie class today in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know, they adjusted. Kyer, James, I mean, we're counting on those guys, and it didn't used to be that way when you're a young player. Most of the young players years ago never played, or maybe your first-round pick played. And so now, you know, the day and age of the NFL is these young players are going to be counted on to play and contribute.
Tre'Davious, we talked to you quite a bit about him, and he's talked about sort of the journey he's on. But it appears the last few weeks in particular, he's finding in this moment, maybe on the benefit of having watched the game already on tape, but kind of getting that sense that the old Tre'Davious in some ways is coming back?
Yeah, he's worked hard. He really has. Give credit to our training staff as well. But his mindset appears to be in a totally different space right now. He's confident, making plays on the ball. And I would say our secondary made some key plays on the ball. Taron Johnson is another one that comes to mind, Kyer. And that's important. You got to be able to make plays on the ball, and we're starting to do that.
Hey, Sean, when Dane went out earlier.
Who was it?
Dane.
Yeah.
Could he have returned?
I feel like he could have. You know, Nate said he could have, and so we'll just see where it goes this week here.
The playoffs can be grueling under normal circumstances. Obviously, everyone on this team has been through a lot the last 2 weeks. I guess, how do they find the strength to keep going for what you hope is a long run?
Yeah, you got to want it. I mean, you got to want it. This is what we work for. This is what you train for in the off season. This is what the regular season's for, is to get yourself, you know, into the playoffs. And now these are every game is you know, it's the season, in the span of 4 quarters or overtime. So it's is what we work so hard for all year.
John, you had a series in the fourth quarter where first and second down there were incomplete verticals to Gabe. Was that an issue of liking the matchup and wanting to go there, or what did you think about that particular sequence there?
Yeah, you know, just I'm sure Doris will want that one back. Didn't feel great about that one, just in terms of the efficiency overall there. So, you know, just again, that's one of the areas we can learn from.
What you guys have been through overall this season, especially the last couple weeks, have you seen it kind of galvanize the group and help them in moments of adversity out there?
Yeah, I mean, we have a group of guys that they love to compete. I think that's the start of it, and you know, we've been through games before like this that have ebbed and flowed. That's really the model in the NFL. I mean, again, I mentioned the game last night, and so games are going to be close, and you've got to be able to be at your best when they are close, and we continue forward.
How much of Kyer's success in this game is a product of the way that he's worked while he's been kind of waiting for that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 ways to handle that. You can get your, you know, kind of put your chin in your chest and mope around, or you can do something about it, and I think Kyer really handled that well through the body of the season when he wasn't getting maybe the reps he wanted to get, and he stayed true to being a team guy. And it's a test of your character at the end of the day, and your teammates are watching, and I thought he handled it well, and now he's getting a chance to play. And when you do play, as someone's talking about young players, when you get your opportunity, you got to be ready to go.
How important was it to limit the explosive plays from Tyreek and Waddle?
Yeah, that was huge. I think they had one, maybe two. So just overall, good job by the secondary there, keeping them in check best we could. I mean, they're really good, really fast.
Sean, we saw pictures on social media of Demar being in the locker room. I'm just curious from your perspective what it was like. I know you've been in touch, you've seen him, but to have him back in the building for the first time.
Yeah, it was great having him. He came to walk through yesterday, along with his parents and his little brother, which was great to see him. And word traveled fast because by the end of walkthrough, everyone had gotten down there to say hello, and he was trying to, you know, being the team guy that he is, trying to stay under the radar, and he was kind of all the way down the one end zone there. And but yeah, good to see him back in the building, and good to have his parents there as well.
Sean, what did you think of the performance of Dawson Knox? This was 5 straight games with a touchdown reception. In the last 3 years, he scored the first touchdown in the playoffs for you guys.
Yeah, he continues to play at a high level, and I know he wants that one back from the middle part of the game there, and he'll make those going forward. Just have a lot of confidence in Dawson. All right, thanks, guys.
Anybody has any photo vests, please give them to me.
Yes, sir.